But there was one day where I tried. I tried to go out there because I was just so fed up and I wanted to see everything that was going on for myself.
Today, with its charred remnants of last night's rioting, the fury evident at every corner. Overnight, demonstrators had rampaged. The violence, the anger, and the flames, at times well out of control.
Fambam, what's going on? I know this is a video that a lot of people have been wanting me to make and hear my opinion on everything that's been going on. This is a video that I've tried to make a few times when it first happened, and I couldn't do it. And after about a month of sitting and processing everything, educated myself on systemic racism and the history of our country, I've learned more in the past month than I ever learned in school when it comes to Black history and American history from a Black person's perspective. And I finally feel comfortable speaking up about everything that has happened in the city of Minneapolis. As you guys know, I live here. I actually go to church 2 blocks away from where George Floyd was murdered. So just to show you guys how much this has hit home for me and my family. I ended up getting to a point so bad where I don't want my kids around me. And I want my kids to see me struggle. I want them to see me, cry. I want them to see me go through these kind of things so they can see that this is real life. I don't ever want to keep things away from my kids, but this specifically, I didn't want my kids around me, especially my 2-year-old, because there's no telling how I'm going to act. There was no telling how I was going to act towards Charlotte, towards them. You know what I mean? There are days where I'll be sitting here and I'll be crying uncontrollably, and then next minute, I'm ready to punch the wall from being so mad. And when I think about all those emotions, I think the reason I was like that is because I was taking in so much information about police brutality and racism and oppression and slavery, all this stuff that people is feeding me. And I realized how uneducated I was. And taking on information from so many people, all these different YouTubers, news sources, friends, family, and I wasn't educated myself, so therefore that was overwhelming for me. So I've been sitting and educated myself, and I feel like I'm in a better place to understand why these things are the way that they are. And I still don't have an answer for racism, but I do know that racism really does exist. When I used to think of racism growing up, where I'm from, Hispanics and Black people don't get along. And, we fought over territory, we fought over streets. And you can even say that about Black on Black crime. And we were always fighting and killing each other and all that stuff. But the system of where we are is the reason why those things are happening. I always looked at racism like that, but now I look at racism and I see it as the system that was put in place to put people of color in these systems of poverty and being poor and low income housing. I've lived through all these things. So yeah, that's just some of the things that I've been learning. And yeah, I wanted to talk about the protests. I did not protest. For me, it just wasn't something that I was necessarily wanted to put myself in for a lot of different reasons, for obviously COVID-19 and protecting myself, protecting my family. I didn't know what I would do if I went out there. Like I said, I had uncontrollable emotions, and I just think that if I went out there and I saw a cop or I saw anybody just doing something wrong, I would have lost it. Me having that awareness of myself is the reason why I didn't go, even though I felt every single ounce of me wanted to go out there and protest and stand up to what's been going on for so long. I didn't protest, and I didn't go out there. But there was one day where I tried. I tried to go out there because I was just so fed up, and I wanted to see everything that was going on for myself.
Capitated the horseman, oh America, you bet me. Trapped inside the ghetto and I ain't proud to. If I was the president. You said to me, I remember what you said too. You said, my name.
What's your plan?
I'm just driving by.
Are you not getting out?
I don't know, I'll probably get out, I'm not sure.
To do what though?
I just don't want to say that I'm not gonna get out and I end up getting out, but I wouldn't do anything.
Are you getting out to clean or just see
No.
it?
No, I think I just need to see it. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get out and like do the cleaning today because I think I'm still kind of full of like emotions that I'm not really sure, what'll happen if something happens, And I just don't want to put myself in that kind of predicament. I was just gonna fill it out and then I'll be over there soon. But they broke into everything. Like they broke into these barber shops. They broke into everybody just out here cleaning, and there's no telling what's gonna happen. So I'll be safe. I'll be safe. I'll be back.
I know, but do you have like stuff? Do you have masks and gloves and?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't go like toward like near people.
I won't. So yeah, I tried to go out there, and there was a time where I just completely had to leave. When I got there, I didn't feel safe. When I got out the car, I felt like a swarm of emotions that I just felt like it's so hard to put into words because I've never felt anything like it before because I've always bottled stuff in, but this was just like gushing out like a river. Like it was just ready to do whatever it was ready to do, and I wouldn't allow it by excluding myself from the situation for myself and for my family. But one thing I do know, if I didn't have kids, being married, I probably would have went, to be completely honest with you. But, I felt bad about not protesting. I felt bad about not going out there. But I was always making conscious decisions on why I wanted to go. And I made my decision based on that, not based on my emotions. Still to this day, I probably feel a little bit bad, not as bad as I did before. But I really don't have any answers. I don't know if any of us will ever have answers to everything that's been going on and how we can change it. I've had a lot of my, white friends contact me when everything had happened, ask me how they could help. They want to make change and all this stuff. And I think one thing that I came up with is, there's a lot of like support black businesses, donate to this charity, help people, with money, which I think is fantastic. I'm not taking anything away from that at all. But when I start to sit and think about change, I always think about the psychological aspects of change and what it really takes to change the perception of your mind and the things that you've learned since a kid. Those things stick with you. And if we really want to make change, in my opinion, when it comes to things to do, I've been learning about voting and how important voting is. I was always so uneducated when it came to politics or the presidency or whatever. But now I'm realizing that it's the cities, it's where you live, voting for the right, governor and voting for the right, mayor. I don't even know if those are the same people. And changing things that are going on in your own city, putting people in places to change the things that are going on where you live. So I've been educating myself on the people who are running in Minneapolis. I've been educating myself on the laws and the rules here. I even recognize how different laws are in each state. Like when I started researching, I was just like, what the heck? Like the only thing I really heard that was different was like the gun laws because, once somebody shoots up a school, now we got to change the gun laws. It's like, but the biggest way I see change up here in your psyche is, if you are around people, black, white, purple, green, whatever, and you hear something about, a racist joke or things that aren't right around your group of friends, you got to speak up. You have to change the narrative of these jokes and these things that are being said that have underlying tones of racism and hatred. You're gonna have to risk losing friends and speaking about uncomfortable things to make change. Excuse me. That's the biggest thing that I see. Me being a black male, I have white friends and people of color who say things, and I kind of let it slide because it's uncomfortable to do that sometimes. I have white friends who say the N-word, you know what I mean? Because it's a part of culture. Culture is a very difficult thing to change. So yeah, like I said, I don't have all the answers, and some of these answers might be wrong, but this is my opinion. And I've been wanting to speak about this, but I wanted to wait till I was ready. And I feel like I'm in a good place where I'm finally processing things and healing. I'm able to be around my kids and, love them how I've always, done. And my wife has been fantastic when it came to everything that happened with, him being murdered and all the things that I was going through. She was just, my rock in all of this. We talked about our experience in Minneapolis on our podcast channel. If you guys are interested to know what exactly happened those couple of weeks, those couple of days, there were days we couldn't even stay at home because all the looting and the protesting. This all happened like right outside my house, and we went to Charlotte's mom's house. But we talk about all that on the podcast. But I'm in a good place. I'm healing. And I'm ready to start making videos again and kind of put this situation behind me, but continue to keep educating myself to make change, to put people in places to make change, and to make this world a better place, man, because we need it. So I appreciate y'all for being patient with me. Thank you for all the love and support and the messages that I've been getting from you guys. I've tried to write back to as many people as I could. And I actually have a fun video to show y'all in a few days. We went to a cabin to get out of the city and kind of debrief from everything that's been going on, and some funny stuff happened, and I want to share some of it because it was a good time and it helped me get over this hump. So I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one. So until next time.